this alone.
Okay, so we've all seen the regeneration now, and hopefully I'm not spoiling this episode for you, but there's something that's really bothered me about this, and there's something that's really annoyed me at the fact that it actually affects the way that the regeneration hits when it happens, and it's not this clip. So from here onwards, there's something that really pisses me off about this regeneration, and we're going to fix it today. I know this isn't the type of normal video that we would do on this channel, but video editing is a big part of having a YouTube channel, and it's something that when you've got some experience in it, you can have some fun with it. So I thought what I was going to do today is actually work through this, fix it, and show you guys exactly why it needed fixed, because from this point on it should never have been transmitted, because it really affects it. And I'm going to show you a before and an after version right side by side at the very end of the full clip, so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So throughout this I'm going to keep playing it. I'll try and keep talking, but sometimes I just zone out. But for the most part, it's literally just going to be focused on color grading, and I'm going to show you kind of what I mean. So to start off with, right, everything in this screen just looks, I don't know, it just doesn't look right, and it didn't look right to me when I was watching the episode either. So the first thing that I thought I would do is just bump up the saturation a little. So bumping up the saturation brings out more colours, but that doesn't really, if we hit this button up here, doesn't really change much. So I thought, right, maybe they've just desaturated it, made it look a little bit more not colourful, which is weird for this era of Doctor Who, because everything is like completely so colourful. And then I'm like, right, okay, so
I'm never alone with you.
I mean, if you watch it, it does look a little bit better, but not totally. And then we get to this part, and this is where I really noticed that something was wrong.
And that is exactly.
So that isn't typical regeneration energy. So if I bring up a clip here from the Chris Chibnall era, and we compare that, I'm going to compare it side by side, this regeneration energy just looks a little off to me. I just wanted to quickly add that this is also from the 60th anniversary specials, so it is the same company that's doing the effects. It's BBC and Bad Wolf, and the same effects team that's doing the effects for both these clips. Simply to fix that, I can come in here and play about with some of the dials. So I'm thinking it's a little bit, it's not bright enough. So if we bring up this side and bring down this side, look, immediately we're starting to see a difference. We're really starting to see an immediate difference here. So if I turn this off now, have a look. So now it looks like powerful regeneration energy. Now, I'd say it's maybe a little bit over bright, so I'd bring that back down a little bit more. And I need some shadows in here, so if we bring this down a little, so if I bring it all the way down, it would work, but it just looks unrealistic. So, because it would add, the regeneration energy would technically add some light to the camera. And then we can play a little bit more about with the highlights. This just focuses on the regeneration energy itself. And yeah, you could have it completely dull, but that doesn't work. It doesn't work properly. So I found around about maybe 18 strength kind of works. So now if we go back and we play that scene again. So hopefully you guys are seeing this the way that I'm seeing it, but it's feeling like it's a lot more powerful already. And I'm not a colour grading expert in any manner, but I can play about with stuff and make sure that stuff looks normal. This certainly didn't look normal to me. So if we play it from the very end of this clip and go into the exit in the Tardis scene, immediately you can see that there's a difference here. So if I do the before and after, can you see that? So it's as if someone's like completely forgot to add any depth. Quite fitting for this era of Doctor Who, but it's as if it's as if they completely forgot to like color grade this part of the edit. Like, it's so obvious. Like, it's so obvious, and it really does impact the way that you take in that scene.
I'm never alone with you.
Like, even looking at ᴍᴏᴅᴜ just now, like, look at this. How much better does that scene look? How much better does ᴍᴏᴅᴜ look in that scene? I mean, bearing in mind, we are in the middle of space, so light is there, but it's going to be quite limited. And it certainly ain't going to look like that. It gets even better than that, because that literally took me, what, 2 seconds? It literally took me 2 seconds to make sure that that clip looked good. And it's an actor's send-off, so this part should really look the best that it's ever looked. I know that there was some problems apparently behind scenes and stuff like that, and this was all last-minute filming, but like, surely it wasn't that last minute that they couldn't just quickly give it a 2-minute color grade, do you know what I mean? So now we can play a little bit more about with these. So if I change this, this completely dramatically changes everything. So that's it, bringing it down. Okay, so if we bring this up a little bit more. Now you don't want it to be over, as far as I'm aware with color grading, you don't want it to be overly saturated, but with something like this is meant to be like fire. It's meant to be like really strong energy.
This has been.
Like, even this scene, the Tardis is glowing nicely in the back, and then everything else is like completely dark. I love how they've done that with the lighting. They've made sure the Tardis is just lit up, and then everything else, all the other lights were turned out just so that the Tardis was shown. Another deliberate move probably from RTD, even though people are saying it's not. But yeah, it makes everything else pop, because like, when you turn this off, the Tardis isn't as visible. Like, the actual console itself isn't as visible. But as soon as you turn it on, look at that.
An absolute joy.
I agree with ᴍᴏᴜ here. It gives me absolute joy to do this. I love it. Even the Tardis console scene looks so much better now. It just looks so much nicer. But there's one other thing in this, and I don't know if any of you would have noticed it, but there's one other thing in this, and we're going to quickly fix it. Okay, so round about this part here, there is sound effect that really, really bothers me, because it doesn't have anything underneath it. It's so obviously dull, it's ridiculous. Like, obviously we're in space, there's not supposed to be any sound, but for a TV show you're going to actually have sound. So right now I've got a bunch of explosion sound effects that would be suitable for this to kind of match up with it. And I'm going to try a few of them. I've not tried any of them yet, but I'm going to try a few of them to see if any of them fit a little bit better. Okay, so now let's do a comparison, okay? So instead of doing that, I can just hit solo. This is the normal. This is it with just one of the effects that I've added. And then this is it with all three. Now, if I was a proper sound engineer, I'd be able to integrate that a little bit better, but we'll be here all day doing that. So even with this one, listen. The explosion for this one is actually a little bit nicer, to be honest. Whatever they've used here, I prefer it. It sounds a little bit Tardis-y, a little bit like normal regeneration energy. But there was some other changes that I kind of quickly wanted to make. That I done was I centered up in ᴍᴏᴜ's face, but I don't know if that's because of my cropping that I've done to the video anyway. But I've centered up in ᴍᴏᴜ's face for this scene because it feels more impactful if he's in the middle of the screen, taking up your full entire attention.
An absolute joy.
And then currently, at the moment, I feel like this is a little bit empty. So what I want to do here is just to add a little bit of a camera shake. Now I'm just going to play them side by side so that you guys can see, and then why don't you let me know down in the comments what you actually think. I just feel like not enough time was kind of given or spent on this, considering it's such a big visual effects shot and it was the big moment of the episode. I feel like it should have had quite a lot of attention on it, and I feel like it never got that. So yeah, obviously we can't blame the VFX artists because they're always crushed for time, but whoever watched this, and I know RTD would have probably watched this before its transmission and no one spotted that the fact that this scene didn't look right. That's a big problem. So I'll go and render this off and then throw the two videos side by side at the end of this video. Okay, so I never quite thought this through when I done this video, but there's an issue with this upload and it won't let me upload this video with the comparison video attached to it. So what I've done is I've uploaded them separately, and the link for that is in the description if you want to see the actual changes that have been made to this footage. It's a good thing as well because it allows me to show it in a better manner. So yeah.